So if you have 24 hours in your day
Yeah.
and you sleep for 8 hours, that's a third of your day. So you're asleep for a third of your life.
Mm.
If I said to you, how would you feel if you couldn't remember what happened yesterday between 1 o'clock in the afternoon and 6 p.m. in the evening? Would you feel concerned? Hello, and you're very welcome to Mind Blowing. I'm Paul Gill.
And I'm Siobhan Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about dreams and the whole concept behind dreams and dream interpretation. Certainly it's something that's very interesting to us as therapists. It's something both of us use in our practice. And we're very interested, I suppose, in learning more about dream interpretation and how that manifests in our daily lives.
Yeah.
So
it's something I do a lot of. I've written a definitive book of dreams.
Written a book about this, actually, which is pretty cool.
And I go on media on a regular enough basis talking about this thing. And I remember somebody asked me one time, why is it important to remember our dreams? And I answered them and I said, we spend a third of our life dreaming. We spend 7 hours out of the day, 7 hours, say 8 hours.
Our dreams not though really short.
They can be long as well. I'll tell you about it more in a minute. But I can tell you how I do that too. So if you have 24 hours in your day and you sleep for 8 hours, that's a third of your day. So you're asleep for a third of your life. If I said to you, how would you feel if you couldn't remember what happened yesterday between 1 o'clock in the afternoon and 6 p.m. in the evening? Would you feel concerned?
If I was awake, definitely. But not always.
Well, I contend that you were asleep. I can go, haven't you a right to know what's going on in your head from when you're asleep at night, from whatever, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and whatever time you wake up in the morning? What if you're not aware of what's going on in your head, or you can't remember, or you can't hold on to, or you can't understand that information? Should you be concerned? And I go, yes, because it's valuable information, it's valuable data. Basically, you've got a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Conscious mind packs off, goes to sleep when you go to sleep. Your subconscious mind goes 24/7, and it's doing the housekeeping, the tidying up when you go to bed, and that's what dreaming is. It's actually also dreaming during the day, but you don't notice it.
Oh, it's like daydreaming.
Well, there is that, but your subconscious mind is always moving. And I compare it to, we're recording this during the day, and it's bright, it's sunny outside. The moon and the stars haven't been taken in, and it's nobody taking them away, and
you just can't see them.
You can't see them. Why? Because the sun is so bright. A lot of people are blissfully unaware of the work of the subconscious mind during daylight hours because the sun is so bright. You know the way, like an eclipse, you can see things you wouldn't ordinarily see. That's what dreaming is. It's almost like an eclipse. You can see stuff that you wouldn't be aware of otherwise. So your mind is processing, it's doing things. And dreams are, I'm like a kid at Christmas every time I go to bed at night. And I go, where am I going to go? What am I going to experience? And I love dreams. And you ask, are they long or short? You get a mixture of both. You can have dreams that last for a fraction of a second. I remember having a long hot bath one time, and just in the bath you can go tired yourself. You're not off. You just catch yourself. I had a dream in that nod. Split second. And the dream was about a guy I saw his entire life. You know when you see your life flashes in front of you. This was like that. So it's a dream that I can never relate to anybody because it would take me a lifetime to relate to it. I've had dreams too where I was having what I call an epic dream, and I wrote about this in my book, where I'm dreaming. It's like an Indiana Jones film. We're on a kind of a crusade, myself and a few people, and I can dream at many different depths. So somebody texted me this morning, and it was about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not really a morning person, mornings. But I was able to, in the dream, almost like a kind of pause the dream, and almost like open one eye, step out of the dream, and I saw it, and I go, I'm not awake, I'm still asleep, I'll get back to you when I wake up. I sent off the text, and then I'm back into the dream again. When I came out of that dream, it was 10:30 in the morning. I know for a fact then that I was dreaming for 3.5 hours with one dream. And I had detailed recall of that dream. That's been probably another hour or so analysing the dream and what it meant. And I got great insight into it.
And I think that's the thing. Like, definitely when I'm working with clients as well, I love getting them to keep a notepad beside their bed and write down whatever dreams they're having, because it's similar, I suppose, in hypnosis as well. When you really start working with somebody with EMDR, which is eye movement sensitization and processing, what you're doing is you're really opening up that subconscious part of the brain. Because I think when bad things happen to us in life, we tend to shove everything back into that part, and we're like, I don't want to think about that or let that come into my conscious mind or my conscious day because it's too painful to think about it, or I'd rather not remember that, so we shove it all back in there. And then over time, it starts to manifest as, depression, anxiety, in general, just malaise and sadness, So when we start opening up that subconscious part of the brain from hypnosis or from EMDR or just talk therapy, you can open that part of the brain as well naturally. All the stuff starts to come out, and if it's not quite there yet in your conscious mind, it'll come out in your dreams.
Yeah.
I think dreams are really messed up as well. You could have a dream about
mix mash.
Going in this big green dreary building, and there's going down in this elevator or whatever.
That's not a dream, that's reality.
It's actually green here in front of us. But you could have it just be so messed up. You think, what the heck is that? These three people here had no idea who they were, what they were talking about. But quite often those three people are there in your dream and they've gone down into this dungeon. They're representations of yourself.
Yeah.
So one of them is not saying anything at all. It's really quiet, and another part of yourself could be really angry in the dream.
Yeah.
And that's the part that wants to get all this stuff out and be heard. And I often think, like, I say to my clients as well, don't Google your dreams. You never know what's like. They can't interpret it properly.
Dreams are very personal.
Yeah.
Even when I give interpretations with on radio telly, I'm giving a broad interpretation.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can see more in the dream than what I will say on telly, because you can see particular issues sometimes, and you don't know the trauma for somebody, you don't even know who they are. You mentioned there about keeping a journal beside your bed and writing in your dreams, because dreams are elusive. It's like, you could be driving along and think, I have to get something for the tea this evening, and then the next thing it's gone out of your head, and you think, what was that thing? But if you get into the habit of writing down what it is that pops into your head, you'll get very adept at writing down your dreams, because there's an expectation that this behavior is going to happen.
Yeah. And
dreams, I find fascinating about dreams, and I haven't been able to find out is this a true story, but I like to hear these things, and maybe somebody can tell us that. But there's a story about a soldier in World War One, a young man who's in trenches, German soldier, and they're getting bombarded. It's mucky. There's rats. There's people dying. There's disease. People bleeding to death. They're starving. Really in a bad way, and there's mustard gas being fired at them, and he go blind from mustard gas. And this guy, one night he hears a voice. He's kind of dreaming, and he kind of hears a voice in the dream. And the voice says, "Get up and get out of the trench and walk forward." And that was suicide, because he was walking into no man's land. As soon as you pop your head above the trench, you're going to get mowed down. You're going to get shot.
Right, snipers everywhere.
What he did, he got up and he walked a few yards out of that trench, and just as he walked a few yards, a missile came in and bang, exploded in the trench, killed everybody in the trench. And he took from that, he gleaned from that, I'm a special person. God has ordained me to do special and amazing things to make an impact, a real change in the world. You know who that soldier was? Private Adolf Hitler.
Stop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it amazing? And certainly fulfilled that.
God, he surely became a influential person in the world, all right.
He did, but throughout history, and even in the Bible, there's stories of people who've had dreams, prophetic dreams, like, the 7 skinny cows, 7 bad years in the famine, 7 fat ones, and what was meant. There's an immense amount of information and data in dreams, and if you overlook that, it's like when somebody tells me a dream, I can tell them an immense about not only what's in the dream, but how their life is.
Yeah.
Because your dreams are, again, they're a reflection.
Yeah, of what's going on for you. And it might not make sense, and I think that's the important thing to put across to people.
Initially.
They don't really make sense until they're interpreted properly.
Well, one of the things that you touched on there was that it could be 3 strangers in your dream, but they're not strangers.
No.
They're aspects of you.
Yeah.
And when you embody them,
else.
when you kind of go, okay, I am this person in the dream, how does it feel to be this person?
Yeah.
What am I about? What am I here for? How,
What am I saying?
Then you touch on a particular emotion or feeling or an attitude, and then you go, where is that feeling or attitude currently felt in my waking life?
Yeah.
And then suddenly you go, oh, that's it. That's it. It's blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
I remember even certain words in dreams can, you think that's the same word, it's the same thing. Like lorry or truck.
Mm-hmm.
You think, well, but that's the same thing. But no.
Maybe it's not.
No. I had a dream, and this is weird. Because especially when I was writing my book, I was experimenting in my head, doing thought experiments with dreams and testing things. Right. So I'm in bed, and I wake up. I come out of the dream, and I'm a bit kind of disturbed because the dream momentarily is a kind of broken, but I know it's not a good dream. And I'm on my hands and knees on top of the duvet in bed, and I hear the sound of a lorry, and I look, and there's the headlights of an old lorry coming, thundering towards me. I go, what? And then I kind of tried to move like this, and the lorry goes straight through me out the far wall.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm awake. I think I'm awake. What? And then I am actually in that position on the bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's happening? And I'm struggling to understand what it is. And I rang a good friend of mine, Martin Connolly, and we were chatting. And I'm saying, this is my dream. And when I started to relate the dream to him, instead of saying there was a lorry coming, I said to him, I was on my hands and knees, next thing I saw these headlights and blowing a horn. I said, there was a lorry coming. No, it wasn't a lorry. There was a truck coming. And the minute I said truck instead of lorry, I go, that's a dream. Because when I'm doing a smoking cessation session with somebody, there's a metaphor, this little story at the end of the session that we tell the client. And the story is this. You're walking along a road. There's a frog walking along the road. And she sees another frog stuck in a hole that a truck tire had made. And being a helpful kind of a frog, she tries to help this other frog. She encourages it, shouts down at the cajoles, all those kinds of. No matter what she does, can't get the other frog out of the road. Stuck frog has an idea, and he says, can you hop down here? I can hop up your back and get through that way. And she goes, why do that? I'm going to be stuck. So no, look, I'm busy. I've got a lot to do. I'm just going to hop along, and maybe you can figure out something for yourself. So she leaves. She's only hopped along a couple of yards, and she hears a noise behind her. She turns around. It was the frog that she left in the rut hopping towards her. And she goes, what? I spent the last long while trying to help you to get out of that rut. What did you do to get out of the rut? And he says, well, there was a truck coming. So basically it means get off your arse. There's a situation coming down the line that you need to really be aware of, and you need to take action. And when I told about it, I thought, obvious, it's that stuff that was happening. And I missed interpretation because I was mixing up the words lorry and truck.
Okay.
Truck had a particular meaning that they didn't have.
Because of the story.
Because of the story.
Yeah.
So isn't it fascinating?
Yeah.
The keywords like that.
Yeah, they do. They make a huge difference, I suppose, to how you interpret things and what comes up for you. And I think as well, like I've worked with a lot of people whose daily life will come into their dreams as well. Like, say if you watch a scary film, for example, and especially with children, this comes up a lot in therapy, where if they've seen something scary that day, or something get them a fright, or somebody upset them in school, or for us watching scary films, you can dream. They come into your dreams then that night. Yeah. And to me, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just
you evoke strong emotions.
Yeah, something that upset you that day. And the dream or the subconscious, that's its way of processing what happened that day. Yeah. So I think that's a big part of the subconscious.
Do you know what I love? Lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is where that you're
super
dreaming.
Weird.
It's brilliantly weird.
Dreaming,
yeah. But you can manipulate the dream.
Is it true that can actually, if you can navigate your own way through the lucid dream and make your own outcomes, that it will actually change your life?
Oh yeah, it can do, because it gives you a sense of empowerment.
Okay.
That you can
control your
outcomes. Because everything in your life is manifested as a result of thought. So the chairs we're sitting on, the camera we're sitting in front of, that was once a thought in somebody's head. Yeah. A person did something with that thought. Manufactured the camera, manufactured the chairs, and we're sitting on the results of their thoughts. Yeah. So everything, even the clothes you're wearing, were thoughts in somebody else's head. So everything starts with a thought form. Yeah. And in dreams, it's no different. Okay. So when you're in a dream, you realize that you're dreaming. You can realize, actually, I can manipulate this situation. If I go this way, this is going to happen. If I go that way, that's going to happen. We can change things. You guys actually have more control over here than I have.
I think that's part of the decision. and the knowing as well. Because I think, like, if you don't know that you can achieve something, you have to know it in your subconscious.
Mhm.
You know, you can't just think, oh yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire, like, and it's going to work out. You know, you can't just have that initial belief. You have to really feel it and see it happen and know that it can be true for you. Otherwise, it just won't.
Yeah, and you see, if you have dreams that contradict that belief, that you're
Yeah.
down and out and you're struggling,
Yeah.
it shows that there's a deep subconscious root there that's going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And that needs to be intercepted,
Yeah.
or it needs to be changed and manipulated. I know people who would have lucid dreams. People who are very close sometimes can share the same dream experience.
Wow.
So couples,
Wow.
I knew of this couple that they would meet up in a dream at night, and then they'd ring each other and talk about it. And yeah, I was there. That's out in the forest. There was a hound, there was a deer, there was a wolf, and
Wow.
that's interesting. And experiments have been done with lucid dreams. It's a big thing in the States. I was part of a forum a few years ago. The lucid dreamers would get together and to do experiments. So one dreamer would say, I'm going to dream of a certain 4-digit number, and I'm going to meet you in the dream, and I'm going to pass over that number to you. The next morning, we'd ring each other and say, what's the number dream you got? Was 5664.
Wow.
And you got the answer. That's it.
Wow.
Now, whether that's
amazing.
coincidence, would it? I'd like to find out more about that.
Yeah. You'd have to get a good number of people together to really conduct a good experiment.
You would, and see the success rate and failure rate, because
Yeah.
it's easy to point out the examples of when it did actually happen.
Yeah.
Even though it's a random number like that, 4-digit number, statistically, the odds of that happening
Yeah.
is
It's
astronomical.
highly unlikely, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And I like to think, Jung used to talk about the fact that we're all part of this collective. Yeah, and then you get these archetypes and dreams. Then look, a witch might mean in the dream.
Yeah.
To me, a witch might mean a teacher, because if you've had female teachers who treated you, and witches were always like Hansel and Gretel, trying to keep you into the space lock. The teachers trying to keep you in the classroom,
For God's sake.
yeah.
Bake you in the oven. God bless them.
Yeah. So witches, monsters, being chased, being stuck, are recurring themes in dreams.
Yeah.
And again, the stuck dream. I went through a phase in my life where I was having dreams where I went down into the kitchen. The kitchen was full of wet concrete.
Oh yeah.
And you're trying to get through it, you're
legs.
stuck and whatever.
Yeah.
And it sounds you
You're
feel
trying to
you
escape.
feel stuck in
In
your
your
life, or even in your home.
Yeah, God, I've also had that dream where you can't speak. Then.
Yeah.
There's God, it's dreadful.
Yeah.
Horrible. You wake up and go, damn.
Yeah.
You know, nearly
And
like
that's
you
the
can't
reason you
breathe.
don't have a voice in your life.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I went to, there was a workshop held by a guy called Dr. Keith Ahern. He studies sleep and dreams. I think he's in Liverpool, as far as I remember. I don't know if he's still there now. But he'd have people do interesting things in dreams, especially lucid dreamers. When you dream, and you know this from you get the rapid eye movement.
Yeah.
Lucid dreamers can control that rapid eye movement. So they could be asleep, they'll have electrodes on their head, and the experimenters would know that they're going into frenzy. They would, instead of having the eyes randomly moving, they kind of signal that 3 times to tell the person, yes, I'm dreaming.
Okay.
And they would use almost like the power of suggestion, I suppose, from hypnosis.
Yeah.
They would get the dreamer to do certain experiments in dreams. One of the ones that Aaron mentioned was to get somebody to imagine you're on the moon, you're on top of the Eiffel Tower in the moon.
Ooh.
And then it says, I want you to jump off the top of the tower, count how many seconds it takes you to land on the surface of the moon. And to do it.
Okay.
Sorry. I got this backwards. Yeah, it's no, the thing is, they worked out that our concept of gravity on the moon is exactly right. It is what we dream it is. So how do we know that? How do we know how long it would take us to jump off the Eiffel Tower in the moon and land on the surface? How do we know that? So people would speculate, well, we came from the stars anyway.
Yeah.
It's universal naturalist.
Connection.
Yeah. Or you can have prophetic dreams. The amount of people that dreamt about 9/11.
Oh, Jesus.
But a lot of these come out of the woodwork after 9/11, so it's very easy to you have a dream about it.
Yeah.
But I find that a lot of prophetic dreamers tend to dream about bad stuff.
Yeah.
Why don't they dream about the good stuff? Why is it horror accidents, people getting killed?
Maybe that's all we hear about.
Grizzly
it,
bears.
That's what we're attracted to.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing. We are attracted to fear and negativity.
Yeah. It's terrible when clients come into me and like tell me about your week. I want to hear the bad stuff because but I'm here to help you with. I'm here to help you. What's the bad stuff? The good stuff, fair enough. We all have good and bad stuff that happen in the week. Good days or bad days, but really, I'm interested in the bad stuff
because they have a problem.
Okay, let's work on that then.
Yeah, and as they can work on it and work through it, and we're being through it, come out the far side of it,
exactly,
rather than getting stuck in.
Yes.
So you can use your dreams for that as well. So as Paul was saying earlier, get a pen and paper, put it beside your bed. It implants the suggestion in your head that that's there for a reason. It's there for a reason. What's it there for? You're going to write down whatever you remember from your dream.
Yeah.
And be relaxed about this. Don't say, I must remember, because you put pressure on yourself that way.
Yeah.
But you kind of go, no, I'm just going to write down. And even if you don't retain a full dream, even if it's a fragment of a dream, start with what emotion, what's the strongest emotion that will come away from that dream with? Where do I feel that emotion in my current life? And that will connect you with not only what you've been dreaming, but the entire subject matter. Something you can get through. Another silly thought experiment, and I suppose we'll nearly finish on this, is that the way you say you put things to the back of your head.
Yeah.
I had a dream, and it was a fantastic dream, and I woke up and it's gone instantly. I go, oh no, what's that? I can't remember it. And I'm really annoyed with myself because I can remember all my dreams. It's just gone. And I couldn't understand it. It's an entire block of knowledge and information. And then later on, I was out mowing lawn. I was on a right arm mower and going up and down, and kind of in a bit of a trancey kind of thing with the noise and the smell of the grass and all of this. And I think, that dream, oh my goodness, it's like I kind of pushed it at the back of my head somewhere. And you can be present, you can be present in either hemisphere of your brain, right hemisphere, left hemisphere. You can tell by looking at people's eyes, which is the dominant eye in that moment. Okay. That's the one we're behind. So just as you can be in the right hemisphere, left hemisphere, you can be in front or back either. And I kind of thought, okay, put my dominance here and there. Okay, what about went to the back of my head? There was the dream lurking in the back of my head. It comes straight out. Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. And it's mad. And I would never say this in a podcast or anything. So nobody watches this anyway. It's fine. You've been listening to Mind Blowing. Mm-hmm. That's us for today. Like us, subscribe, download, share.
Yeah, and if you have any comments about today or want to share your dreams for Paul or I to interpret those for you, we'd be delighted to do so. So you can DM us as well. All right, thanks for listening today. Bye.